FT-902 DM. All mode, HF all mode transceiver. No power. Here we go. We're going to try to fix this thing. This thing's beautiful. Look at this. Woo. Goodness gracious. It's a very nice radio. Look at that. Gotta treat her nice and give her some TLC and get her all cleaned up. And figure out why she's not powering up. I have the rectifier A, I think it is. Might be mistaken, but it is the bias. So here's your control for your bias. And that it's rarely used, but you might have to use it to fine-tune the rig. But what was going on is all of this was full of just goop and had stuff all over it. So decided to pull out all the boards, and even though it's pretty clear which is which, I still numbered it. These stickers remove real easy, and they're so easy and cheap to make on a Dymo label printer I have. So this one I've already cleaned. I used a real soft, there's still dust on it. I used a real soft paintbrush. It's one of my favorite paintbrushes. And if it doesn't fit in areas, I'll use a smaller one, but this one was able to pretty much get all the dust. Out here in the desert, it's real dry, and static is an issue. And it's just nice to have everything clean since we're going to take it out. I really want to get this radio going. It's a radio that I acquired from a Silent Key. That's just a really cool guy, really cool Elmer. In fact, he's the Elmer that got me. And he's the one who basically convinced me to go and get my license many years ago. So this is number 2. Came out. What I'm going to do is I've dedicated this little box with a piece of foam, anti-static foam I happen to have. I'm just going to line them up in here and go through them and clean them. And I'll use concoctions with, what's this one? This was Triflow. I like Triflow. Grandpa's Cologne, WD-40. I put WD-40 in a bottle and I use a dropper. Oops, sorry about that. Use a dropper. Look at that. We call that Grandpa's Cologne. WD-40 cleans really good. And got the manual here. So, like I said, everything's pretty much straightforward. You can tell what board's what. But just so it goes really smooth and there's no confusion, if I stop doing this project for a few days or have to do something else or get busy at work, I might completely forget. So I'll come back and it'll just be real easy. I always double check anyway. So this is the top of the radio, and this is pretty much where you access all your boards. It's really cool. It's a nice radio. This plate, I forgot to show you, goes on top the right way, and you can snug these screws down. You know, you don't have to crank on them. You just snug them down a little, because you might want to come in here, pop the top off, and you know, lift it up, work on a board. Or if you're just in there to do some tuning, oops, come on, you can just access the tuning knobs, the K knobs, from here real nicely, and they're all labeled, ready to go. You can't beat that. YAESU, this stuff is from Japan. This is really good stuff. I've seen they're referring online, and people call this a hybrid because in this cage we have 2 vacuum tubes for transmitting, and so they refer to it as a hybrid. And we'll go over that later as I get going with this. This one, no power, nothing. So we're just going to have to go through every little thing from the beginning, from the power into the transformer, and I thought, well, heck, let's take a peek at these boards since they're so easy to access and so beautiful. There's 8 of them, and I had to put the sticker on the bottom of this one, which is the, I'm pretty sure that is the carrier unit, and it is. This is the carrier unit, and that's why it's completely shielded. The other ones have shields on the boards, but this one is completely shielded. Surprised it's not shielded on the face as well. So that might be a little different to take out. I don't know. These ones you just unscrew the screws, 2 screws, kind of like a computer component, card for a computer, you know, video card, sound card, pops right out. And then there you go. You've got the bracket up here that hold the screws, and what I'm real lucky about is I had, this is the FT, the Foxtrot 902 DM Dungeon Master, and I'm lucky enough to have a 901. I'm gonna get it out and see exactly what the model is, but I might be able to use parts off of that if some havoc or something's really bad in here. So far I haven't seen anything too scary, but you never know. We do have no power, and everything's pretty straightforward on the power supply, so it could be something a little more serious, but we'll find out. And we have, like I said, 2 radios that have pretty close parts, and I'll show you the other radio soon. Again, this is the YAESU FT-902 DM, which actually is the best out of the line. They had a 902 line, a 901 line, and a 902 line, and this one happens to have all the features you want and was the final one they made. So we will show you that, and I think that's pretty much all my progress on this currently. Another thing that I have real cool, here I'll show you. Another thing I have that's real cool is, check this out. Oh man, look at this. Yes sir, that's the YAESU, I'm sorry, the YAESU FTV 901D? What is that? What does that say right there? Oh, I can't read for anything. Look at that. Who needs to put their glasses on? That's an R. So it's the transverter 901R. And this, I've tested. It's in really good working condition. There's another video I have posted on my channel that shows this fire up way back when I received them. My Elmer wasn't a silent key back then. He was still alive. he's gone now, and I miss him. I'm gonna restore these radios, and it'll remind me of him. And let's peek under here before we go, real quick. Here's another really beautiful radio that he sold me. This one's really nice. Whoops! I should do a video on this. Yeah, look at that. That's the Lafayette. And that one, let's see what the model is on that one. It's pretty dark in here. Oh, that's the HA. I call it the HA 350. Ha! Now this is only a receiver. Let's try to get some more light on it. That one's okay. My camera cut off. Excuse me. Got a lot of allergies. We're transitioning seasons right now. Let's see. I highlight stuff in the manuals to help me. I'm working the 80 and 40, so here's the position for the, these are the loading positions. Whoa, come on. How am I supposed to? Here, let's start over. Action. Oh, my camera cut off. Anyway, I thought I'd show you real quick in the manual. I highlight stuff that I think is just straight to the point for the sections so that I can just go straight to kind of directions. I'll be running, let's see, 80. I'll be running 40. And these are the loading positions. So that's kind of important to know when you're doing the transmitter tune-up. And so I highlighted 40 as a 3.5 position and the 80 is a 4 position. Of course, they're not finite. You might have to change it. But look what it says here. So it says during a certain procedure that the meter should read 50 milliamps. And if it's not, adjust the bias control. And so, yeah, that's it right there. That was the bias. Oops, where's it at? That's the bias dial. And I'm going to leave it in the exact position it is. And, you know, in fact, I could, let's see, just kind of put the light on it right there and look back at the video later and kind of know that you can see the slider right there, the brush and everything in that position. So it's probably like 3 o'clock or 6 o'clock, whichever one you want to call it. Probably 3 o'clock, being that that's there like that. But anyway, let's get better light. So I was talking about this being the better model, and I don't know. Let's see. It might. There it is. Okay, so the 902D has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 features it's missing in comparison to the 902 SD, who has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 features that are missing. The 902D, by the way, is 100 watt. The 902 SD is a 10 watt unit. The 902DE is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 features missing. That's 100 watt. And the 902DM, the Dungeon Master, is only missing 3. And those happen to simply be an AM filter, CW filter, and an FM filter that you can add to the boards with, there's all types of people that have done it, have instructions, and there's parts and everything by YAESU back in the day. So you can have all these features with only 3 mods, and they're not even that important. They're just, this one would be maybe useful for me, a CW filter. But this one already has a feature on it called, let's see, the APF. The APF. And it has a feature called the APF that acts like kind of like a filter, very good for blocking out interfering signals, and that's what this rig. The goal is to get this rig going for CW. You know, you can do CW at low watt, you can do QRP, you can stay below 10 watts and really not put a lot of stress on the vacuum tubes, and that's kind of important, right? Okay, so speaking of vacuum tubes, here's the tube complement. It's the 12BY7A, which is this little one here. Let's see if we can get that back there. That's this little tube back here. And when the radio is transmitting, this should have a nice little glow to it, but these are the ones which are the two 6146, and they say in this case B. So we'll open it up, and if they're 6146B or not, I don't know. That'll tell us a little story behind this, and we'll definitely check those. So the transmitting tubes are 6146s, and there's two of them, and that's where you get your 100 watts. Oh, it'll be so good to get this radio going. Starting from the power supply, I check the cord, and even though it's old, the actual cord is old. Says TS104 Totoku. Totoku. Could be original. Anyway, it works. So I'm not going to focus on that. Just going to move on. But it's such a elaborate plug, I thought, well, we better check make sure it's wired correctly for what I'm doing, which is AC. And it was. You don't need the ACC plug for what I'm trying to do yet, but this is in very poor condition, so I'm going to have to go over this plug as well. I'll use my cheap meter. Save the batteries on my other meter, and I'll just use my cheap meter. So let me just show you real quick how I'm gonna test all the boards. Just one way. I'm gonna test many things on the boards and change capacitors. Just use this. And I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but we'll see. So I've cleaned this whole line of trace connectors, and I don't want to, when I cleaned them, by the way, I used a little bit of WD-40 and the tri-flow, and I let it set for a little bit, so about 30 seconds, and then I started wiping it this way with an alcohol. Let me grab one. I have a bunch of these sanitizing wipes, and they're really good. They're lint free or something, but when I run out, I don't know, I'll have to shop around to find lint free like these. But anyway, I wouldn't rub this way at all, back and forth. I'd only rub this way, and of course the sanitized wipe has I think it's 70%. Yeah, 70% isopropyl. So now we're gonna, oh, and by the way, I don't think the camera's gonna pick it up, but there's some wrinkles on the trace, and that's why we want to test it. Like I say, it was real delicate, but it's way cleaner than it was. So we'll call this number 1, and that goes way down here. Oh yeah. Number 2, where's number 2 going? It's going right to that one. No? Oh, that's there we go. That's that one. So number 3 goes down, looks like right here. Yep. Number 4 goes down and in the back here on this big ugly. Okay. And then this number 5 goes down to this section. Okay. Number 6 takes a turn and goes over here, it looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And it's working. 7 comes way over here. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. So 7's working. And 8 is real close. It's right there. Okay. And I don't know if you could hear that thunder. Has a pretty big crack. I can't use my dipole today. It's a full half wave. I've got a center fed horizontal dipole, and I had to disconnect it for 40 meters, so I'm not doing any CW this evening. So I thought it'd be nice to get in here and do this. But anyway, did I test this one? Oh, those are just there. That could be actually a jump. It could be some type of jump. Now we're gonna go to this one. She's good. That one's good. So that was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So let's see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Besides these, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I think that's a jump. Yeah, or it's not used. Anyway, we tested this one, it works. Tested this one, it works. Look at that one, it's real close there. That one works. This one goes way over here. That one works. Look at this big ugly. I might have to look at that. What is this big glob of solder. Goodness, look at that. And the final one. Ah, so even though they're kind of worn and wrinkled and worn for sure, by cleaning it, it definitely has better continuity, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah. That's what a cheap meter's good for, that's about all it's good for. If even. Okay. Knot up my hand, my thumb, my hand. I've been rock climbing for over 30 years. I was doing what's called bouldering. It's a certain type of style of climbing, rock climbing. You know, you have your rope. Bouldering doesn't use any ropes, but anyway, I knot up my thumb there, grabbing onto one of the holes. And so if you ever wonder why my hands are all messed up, well, that's one of the reasons. Plus, I do a lot of work with my hands. Anyway, I don't know if you can hear that thunder outside, but it's roaring. It's not a good day to be doing CW on a big dipole. I have that big horizontal dipole. Anyway, still toying around with the cheap meter. I was going to test this fuse right here. It's good. And I doubt it's going to be something easy, I guarantee you. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some weightlifting. I'm going to pick up this radio, move all this stuff, and I'm going to go get that 901 I was telling you about. Let's see what model it is exactly, and let's peek inside and see how the parts are in comparison. So I will go get that and be right back. It's cool. It has little foot pads, of course, here. And on the bottom comes with this handle. The handle's falling apart, but there's a metal strip in the handle. Gosh, this camera's not doing good today. Yeah, and well, can you imagine calling that thing portable? Wow. Here's the lid and that little door I was telling you about. Look at that. You open that door, and underneath you'll find the Vox and marker unit PB 1846. Okay. That's all I have for neighbors. They're pretty far away. There's 5 acres between us. Yeah, it's raining. Got a lightning show going on. Just wanted to show you a boat anchor real quick. Got some parts in there. Oh. Actually works. It's a receiver. Pretty big cabinet, pretty heavy. And this is just the receiver, the Super Pro SP400X. And it's by Hammerlund. And then this is the power supply. So they're same size. The power supply is actually a little smaller inside there, but it's in the same cabinet because it just looks so cool. But that's a boat anchor.